In life, we all encounter people, some with genuine intentions and others, well, not so much. As we move through our journeys, we must remain vigilant, discerning and wise in recognizing those who might not have our best interests at heart. We live in a world filled with hidden agendas, where appearances can often be deceiving, and the real intentions behind a person's actions might remain hidden beneath layers of charm, kindness, or superficial praise. The truth is, not everyone who smiles at you is your friend, and not every gesture of kindness is a reflection of loyalty. The key to thriving in this environment is learning how to spot the signs when someone is secretly working against you. Now let's connect this to the wisdom of Stoicism, which teaches us the importance of understanding not just the world around us, but also the characters of those we call friends or foes. Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, remind us to be mindful of the intentions of others and to see beyond the masks they wear. Today, we're diving deep into how to uncover the truth behind the facades and protect our peace. If you value these insights and want to keep enhancing your discernment skills, do me a simple free favor: hit that subscribe button, and trust me, you won't want to skip any part of this discussion. Together, let's peel back the layers of deception and strengthen our ability to see things as they truly are, empowering ourselves to navigate more wisely through life's complex social mazes. Navigating the choppy waters of personal and professional relationships can be daunting, especially when you encounter individuals whose intentions aren't as clear as still water. A particularly challenging type to spot is what I like to call the subtle underminer. These individuals are masters of disguise, blending in seamlessly with those who genuinely support and uplift you. Yet their actions subtly but surely chip away at your confidence and success. The subtle underminer doesn't make grand gestures of hostility. Instead, they operate in the shadows of ambiguity, cloaking their envy or competitiveness in seemingly innocent remarks or gestures. Imagine you're sharing your excitement about a new project at work. Instead of congratulating you, they might say something like, "Are you sure you can handle that? It seems like a lot for you." On the surface, it sounds like concern, but the underlying message is doubt. This tactic is their way of planting seeds of insecurity, making you question your capabilities and accomplishments. Stoicism teaches us the importance of perception and the internal control we have over our reactions. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the importance of interpreting others' actions through a lens of objectivity and inner tranquility. When dealing with a subtle underminer, it's crucial to apply these principles. By maintaining a stoic calm, you can see beyond the surface and understand the motivations of others without letting them disturb your peace. Moreover, the philosophy encourages us to reflect on our own responses. Are we giving these subtle underminers the power to affect us? Stoicism prompts us to look inward and strengthen our resolve by focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts and reactions. When someone questions your ability, use it as a catalyst to fortify your self-belief, rather than a reason to doubt yourself. Each undercutting comment can serve as a reminder to reassess your values and goals, ensuring they are aligned with your actions and not swayed by external negativity. It's also helpful to discuss scenarios and strategies to manage interactions with such individuals without confrontation. One effective method is to respond with confidence and redirect the conversation to a positive space. For example, if the underminer questions your capabilities, you might respond with, "I appreciate your concern, but I'm really excited about the challenges and opportunities this project brings." This kind of response reaffirms your confidence and subtly discourages further negative input. Building a support system of genuine positive individuals is another Stoic approach to diluting the impact of underminers. Surrounding yourself with people who empower and inspire you can create a buffer against those who may seek to bring you down. This network can also serve as a sounding board, providing you with honest feedback that comes from a place of constructive support, rather than destructive criticism. Remember that everyone we meet has a role in our journey, including the subtle underminers. From a Stoic perspective, these individuals challenge us to grow stronger and more resilient. They test our commitment to our principles and our ability to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. By understanding and anticipating their tactics, we can prepare ourselves to respond in ways that reflect our true character, calm, composed, and unwavering in our daily interactions. Whether in the workspace or in personal relationships, we often come across someone who consistently fails to follow through on their commitments. These are the flaky promisors, always good with words but rarely with actions. Their promises are like shooting stars, bright and mesmerizing at the moment, but quickly vanishing into the void, leaving behind a trail of disappointment and sometimes disrupted plans. These individuals often exude charm and enthusiasm, making them quite persuasive and likable. They'll assure you with a nod and a smile that, yes, he'll take care of it, or don't worry, I've got this. However, the results rarely align with the reassurances. This pattern can lead to significant frustration, especially when you're counting on their part of a project or a personal commitment. The discrepancy between what they say and what they do can throw off not just plans, but also challenge your patience and trust. From a Stoic perspective, dealing with a flaky promisor is an exercise in focusing on what is within our control. Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between our actions and others' actions, which we cannot control. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that, while we can influence others, their final choices are their own. Therefore, when someone fails to deliver on a promise, it's crucial to manage our reactions and expectations, rather than attempt to control their behavior. This Stoic insight guides us to set boundaries and manage our dependencies. If you find yourself repeatedly disappointed by a flaky promisor, it might be time to adjust how much you rely on them. This doesn't mean you should cut ties or react with hostility, but rather strategically reduce your vulnerability to their unreliability. For instance, if a coworker often misses deadlines, plan contingencies for their tasks in project timelines, or discuss openly with them about the impact of their actions, and explore more reliable ways of working together. Moreover, practicing Stoicism involves reflecting on why a flaky promisor's behavior affects us. Is it their unreliability, or is it our expectation and reliance on their promises that truly cause us distress? By examining our responses, we can cultivate a more resilient and adaptable mindset. We learn not to anchor our peace of mind to the actions of others, which are, by nature, unpredictable and beyond our control. The Stoic practice of reflecting on impressions, fantasy, allows us to pause and assess our interpretations of others' promises before reacting. To a broken promise, consider whether your emotional response is proportionate to the situation. This moment of reflection can prevent a spiral of frustration and help maintain a more balanced perspective, focusing on actionable solutions rather than emotional reactions. Communicating your expectations clearly and assertively is also key. Sometimes people are not aware of the implications of their unreliability. Honest and direct communication can highlight the importance of reliability in your relationship or teamwork. Explain how their actions affect your plans and feelings using specific examples. This approach not only fosters understanding, but also encourages accountability. Embody the change you wish to see. Be a model of reliability and integrity in your interactions. This not only sets a standard, but also influences your environment positively. As Epictetus suggested, leading by example is often more persuasive than merely telling someone what to do. By being dependable, you not only strengthen your own character but potentially inspire a flaky promisor to reflect on their actions and consider the value of consistency. Sometimes, in the corridors of our workplaces or even in our social circles, we encounter a type of adversary whose tactics are not overt but are instead cloaked in silence. This person, the silent competitor, operates under the radar, often masquerading as neutral or even friendly. Yet, beneath this facade, they are constantly in competition with us, driven by motives hidden from plain sight. This individual doesn't confront or challenge directly. Instead, they might bypass you in subtle ways, taking credit for collective efforts, strategically leaving you out of important communications, or withholding information that could benefit you. Their actions are not loud or aggressive. Rather, they are marked by a quiet, calculated exclusion and the faint trace of rivalry. It's like they're playing a chess game in which you didn't know you were a participant. In the face of such stealthy competition, Stoicism offers a powerful framework for maintaining inner peace and focus. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the opinions and actions of others are outside our control and, thus, should not disturb our inner equanimity. Marcus Aurelius advised that we should not waste our energies on irritation at others' actions. Instead, we should focus on our own actions and responses, which are within our realm of control. The silent competitor's behavior can indeed be frustrating and demotivating, particularly when it affects our professional opportunities or personal relationships. However, applying Stoic principles, we are reminded to concentrate on our own performance and integrity. If a colleague quietly edges us out of opportunities, we can choose to speak up assertively and constructively, ensuring our contributions are recognized and our voice heard without direct confrontation that may lead to workplace conflict. Moreover, the Stoics would counsel us to reflect on the intentions behind our reactions. Are we upset because of the competitor's actions, or because we feel insecure about our own status and abilities? By focusing on personal growth and confidence rather than on the competitor's stealth maneuvers, we can better align with Stoic virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Engaging with a silent competitor also invites us to practice the Stoic exercise of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This involves mentally preparing for potential challenges or negative events, thereby lessening their emotional impact when they occur. If we anticipate the possibility of silent competition and prepare our responses, we can handle such situations with more grace and less surprise. Additionally, it's beneficial to foster transparency and open lines of communication, particularly in environments where silent competitors might thrive. By promoting a culture of openness and accountability, we reduce the shadows in which such rivalry can grow. Engage your colleagues or friends in discussions about goals, projects, and expectations, making it harder for silent rivalries to influence the group's dynamics. In Stoic practice, we also learn the importance of empathy, understanding that often the actions of a silent competitor are driven by their own insecurities or unmet needs. While this doesn't excuse their behavior, it can help us respond with compassion rather than hostility. Recognizing that they too are navigating their own challenges can shift our perspective from one of rivalry to one of understanding, possibly leading to more collaborative and less competitive relationships. In every social circle or professional environment, there's often an individual who seems to thrive on the currency of whispered words and behind-the-scenes chatter. This person, often known as the Backstage Gossip, can weave narratives that are not always grounded in truth, but are always captivating and sometimes damaging. Their talent lies not in the art of conversation, but in the skill of manipulation, subtly shaping perceptions and relationships without direct involvement. The backstage gossip often operates under the guise of concern or camaraderie, making their revelations seem like confidential trusts or harmless vents. However, the information they share tends to leave a trail of doubt and mistrust. For instance, they might hint at someone's supposed incompetence in a way that seems to be for the team's benefit, or share personal details under the banner of mutual concern, subtly undermining the subject's character or reputation. Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches the importance of focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts and actions, provides a sturdy shield against the disruptions caused by a gossip. According to the Stoics, we should strive to keep our minds focused on truth and integrity and not be swayed by hearsay or slander. Marcus Aurelius advised that the best revenge is to not be like your enemy. Applying this to dealing with a gossip means maintaining one's composure and integrity, no matter the provocations or the narratives being spun around you. When dealing with the backstage gossip, it's crucial to adopt a stance of graceful indifference to rumors and to prioritize direct communication. If you hear something concerning, especially if it affects your relationships or work, address it at the source. Ask the person involved directly, thus cutting through the layers of hearsay and preventing the gossip from setting the narrative. This approach not only helps maintain clarity, but also discourages the gossip by demonstrating that their words have little power over how you manage your relationships. Moreover, practicing Stoicism involves recognizing the limited control we have over others, including their opinions or what they choose to share. This recognition helps reduce the distress caused by gossips and shifts our focus to more productive endeavors. It's about accepting that, while you can influence your environment to some extent, you cannot control the actions of others, only your responses to them. In a Stoic sense, every interaction with a gossip is an opportunity to practice virtue. It's an exercise in patience, understanding, and perhaps most importantly, courage. The courage to stand by the truth and to confront falsehoods with dignity, rather than getting entangled in the web of rumors. A Stoic perspective encourages us to fortify our own character, making us less susceptible to the whims of those who deal in half-truths. Furthermore, fostering a culture of openness and integrity can be a potent antidote to the toxic effects of gossip. By encouraging transparent communication and fostering an environment where people feel safe to speak openly and honestly, you can help create a community less prone to the pitfalls of gossip. This involves not only leading by example, but also actively discouraging discussions that aim to malign or mislead. It's quite unsettling when someone in your life uses fear as their primary tool to influence your decisions. This person, often referred to as the fear monger, wields anxiety like a weapon, attempting to control outcomes by forecasting doom or amplifying the risks involved in any venture. Their approach can be paralyzing, especially when they use intimate knowledge of your insecurities to sow doubt about the paths you choose or the aspirations you harbor. This type of individual thrives on creating scenarios in your mind where the worst outcomes are not just possibilities, but near certainties. They might say things like, "If you quit this job, you'll never find another one in this economy," or "If you date that person, you'll end up getting hurt." Their narrative is always framed around loss, failure, or danger, significantly influenced not by a protective instinct, but by a desire to maintain control. Stoicism, however, offers a robust counter to this onslaught of negativity. One of the core tenets of Stoic philosophy is the differentiation between what we can control and what we cannot. The fear-monger's power lies primarily in influencing how we perceive and react to our fears, not in the actual manifestation of those fears. Stoics like Epictetus emphasize that external events have no emotional content on their own. It is our interpretation of these events that causes distress. By adopting a Stoic approach, We learn to question the validity of the fearful scenarios painted by the fear-monger, and to reframe our perspective to see the opportunities and growth potential in every challenge. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us to focus inward, fortifying our internal defenses against external manipulations. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often discussed the importance of inner tranquility and the pursuit of virtue, regardless of external circumstances. When faced with fear-mongering, it becomes crucial to cultivate personal courage and resilience. This means recognizing fear-mongering tactics for what they are, an attempt to destabilize and manipulate, and choosing to rely on one's own judgment and strength instead. Confronting a fear-monger effectively also involves practicing mindfulness about our own fears. It's about identifying what genuinely worries us and why, then addressing those fears directly through action or acceptance. If the fearmonger says your new business idea is bound to fail, assess the statement objectively. What are the actual risks? How can they be mitigated? This methodical approach reduces the emotional weight of the fear and diminishes the fearmonger's influence over your decision-making. Another Stoic strategy is to embrace the concept of amor fati, or a love of fate. This means accepting and embracing everything that happens as a natural part of your life's narrative, including the challenges and fears that come your way. When you adopt this mindset, the fear-mongering tactics begin to lose their sting. The possibility of failure is seen not as a deterrent, but as a step on the path to eventual success, or a valuable lesson learned. It's also beneficial to build a supportive community that affirms positive outcomes and constructive approaches to life's challenges. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift you and encourage your best intentions can provide a buffer against the negativity spread by the fearmonger. A community that fosters a proactive, positive outlook can help dilute the impact of fear-mongering and reinforce a more balanced view of life's possibilities. At the end of the day, your peace, your progress, and your purpose are yours to protect. No one, no subtle underminer, no flaky promisor, no silent competitor, no backstage gossip, and no fearmonger has the power to define your path unless you allow them to. The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes not from controlling others, but from mastering ourselves. So stand firm in who you are, move with clarity, and never let the doubts of others dictate your destiny. If this message resonated with you, don't stop here. Tap on one of the suggested videos on the screen. There's so much more to learn and grow from. And as always, thank you for being a part of Stoic Journal. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep walking the path of reason and resilience. I'll see you in the next one.